Edwards. Mayor Pro Tem Mark Baker. Present. Councilmember Catherine Robb. Councilmember Carmelita Dunn.
Present.
Councilmember Helen Willis.
Present.
Councilmember Naima Gilliard. Councilmember Rosie Jackson. Councilmember Khalid. This is Mayor, you have a quorum.
Thank you so much. At this time, I think that Mr. Millage, you ready to make a presentation?
Good evening, Mayor and the council members. As we started in the morning, this is our second public hearing for 2019 millage rates that will help us to raise funds or funding for 2020 fiscal year budget. So tax rate, the amount of tax billed is based on the fair market value of property using the millage rate. And the millage rate is set annually by the governing authority of taxing jurisdiction. And wherever they have schools, it's through the Board of Education. A tax rate of 1 mil represents a tax liability of $1 per 1,000 of assessed value. Rollback rate. The rollback rate is the millage rate that would raise the same amount of revenue as last year if applied to current value of property that was on last year's tax roll. And as I said, it's not if everything was as last year. There are several things that do change. And our rollback for 2019 is 10.859. Current millage rate. Millage rate we are still in 2018 is 11.579, the same one we had in 2017, and we are proposing the same millage rate of 11.579 in the 2019. Tax rate comparison, that's what we had in 2018 and what we are proposing in 2019. The fair market value, if someone had a house of $100,000, we remove the assessed value of 40%, which is 40,000, and the assessed value, then there will be local exemption of 30,000. That means you house of 100,000, you'll be taxed on the remaining of $10,000. $10,000 with a millage rate of the rollback, which is 10.859, will raise $108.59. And if we go to what we are proposing now, the same house of $100,000, we remove the 40%, which is 40,000, we remain with the 40,000, then we remove $30,000 for the tax exemption, local exemption. Again, we remain with 10,000. We apply the proposed millage rate of 11.579. We are going to raise $115.79 versus the $108.59. This is what we had last year, 2017, because it's a requirement by the state that we have to give 5 years historical information. We don't have 5 years historical. We started in 2017, 18, and now we are in 19. So we are giving the past 2 years plus the current one. So we have 3 columns of historical information. So real property, where in 2017 we had $1.9 billion. In 2018, $2.4 billion. And in 2019, we have $2.7 billion. And the personal, you find out that's where our big loss is. In 2017, we had the 1.1. In 2018, 908. And in 2019, we have 659. The biggest loss we have here is the loss of business accounts from City of South Fulton that have gone to Fulton Industrial. we have verified with our GIS that those ones were mistakenly put into our jurisdiction, that they belong to Fulton Industrial. And that translates about $4 million that we have lost. And you find out our exemptions again have grown from last year 669 to 728. So exemption is a loss of revenue. At the same time, we are helping our elderly people to have break on the payment of their homes. And we have to make up somewhere else. At the bottom here, you find out in 2018, I have highlighted 30 million that we had raised last year with the same millage rate. That one went down because of that. Still, as you remember, that there was a change of assessment from Fulton County Assessor's Office, that they had to downgrade our assessment that were there originally at $33 million. We ended up with $30.6 million. This year, at the same rate of 11.579, we are proposing, or we are projecting to raise $30.7 million. Millage rate proposal: should the city maintain the neutral, which is the rollback rate, without the portion that was rolled back, then it will need the city will need to reduce level of services being proposed in 2020 budget. And this is the summary of our financial standing. 2018, these are actuals. In 2019 is projected. 2020 is proposed or forecast. So we have revenue in 2020. We are projecting, this is the $30.7 million from taxes plus other revenues. We are proposing to have $72 million budget. And expenditures will be up to $70 million. We are planning to put aside $1.1 million to reduce our funding comments on our second public hearing.
Mr. Mayor.
Time, which is why the tax commissioner initially assigned those properties to the city of South Fulton. And now, since the Fulton Industrial District remains unincorporated, then those taxes and the support that we have been providing even year to date kind of goes unrewarded for the investment that our residents have made for a long period of time. So I think that every opportunity that we can, we should ensure that our public and the general public knows that we've supported and invested in Fulton Industrial. And while we're advocating for them to join us, it's a fight that we should all be taking up based on the years of investment of our residents.
Okay. I'll open the public hearing.
If anyone wishes to make public comment at this time, please approach the podium, state your name, your district, and your address, and leave your card with the clerk's office, please.
Who's talking? My name is Gail Lesser. I live at 5070 Derrick Road in College Park, Atlanta. I'm representing myself. I'm representing myself partly as someone who canvassed for a long time, for over a decade in the city of South Fulton, so I feel like I have some sentimental interest, invested interest in it. I had a couple of questions. Thank you for clarifying the personal. Would that be mostly inventory and stuff, or what? What is it?
Yeah, let's see what you're saying.
What? Would you clarify, please, what was lost in Fulton, in the Fulton Industrial District, defined as personal? Once upon a time, the state had a personal tax, and it was things like fur coats and pianos, which they finally abolished. But what is it in terms of Fulton Industrial? And it's referred to as personal tax in the tax digest. Yes, please.
Something between this and finish your statement and then respond.
The other thing I would like to ask about is under expenditures, the legislature has basically doubled with it from 219 to 2020 proposed, and the executive is now $1.5 million. And my question is, could I have more details on what expenses go into that? Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Let me get that. Just keep record. Keep. Yeah. Yes.
Council yet, so you would not have any of those answers.
That's a hard question I think we'll get.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good evening. My name is A.W. Davis. I live in District 4. Confucius said, if you want to plan for a year, plant rice. If you want to plan for 10 years, plant trees. If you want to plan for 100 years, educate children. And I have not seen that taking place. I'm of the mind that we're actually planning for 10 years and not for 100. The reason why I say that, very simple. If we're going to use the zero-based budgeting process, we need to be engaged in a review process that does not go beyond 6 months. Because the whole point of having a zero-based budget process is it gives you an opportunity to rapid fire the things that you want to achieve. We need to make that process available to the public so that we can keep up with what's going on and we'll know exactly what areas you're focusing on so that we can focus with you. The last income tax you filed in April was probably about that thing. What does that tell you? That should tell you that after President Trump is reelected in 2020, and we made certain that that's going to happen, 9 times out of 10 we're going to go to a flat tax. At some point within the next 4 to 5 years, America will have no choice but to go to a flat tax. When you find yourself $22 trillion in debt, there's nothing else you can do. You have to tax everybody. And that's what a flat tax represents. That means that nobody's going to get any kind of reductions. Everybody's going to have to pay a certain number. I don't know what that's going to be. Hopefully it's not going to be 18%. But whatever it is, we're all going to be eligible for it. We'll all be able to pay that. As always, may God bless each of you. May you enjoy the rest of your evening. And happy birthday to Mr. Baker. My birthday was 3 days before him. I was born on 7/18. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, thank you. Thank you. I'm going to close public hearing comments. Is there anyone else who'd like to come in the public hearing? Hearing none, I'll close the public hearing for the library. You'll come up and respond.
So our loss on food on industrial is to do with businesses. So all these ones, it's about 274 accounts that we have lost, that 2017 and part of 18 were deemed to be for South Fulton. Now all those ones, they made a mistake, they are for food on industrial. So these are all businesses. And the second question you asked about the expenditure on the executives. Tomorrow, the 2nd of August, the budget will be presented to the governing body. They will have that budget for almost a month that they will have to go through it. There will be two public hearings. During those public hearings, you will know in details what they are, and that will be the right time for you to come and ask and even hear what they are. We are going to publish it. So that one is not yet to them, but this one is to specifically today, and the next week, Thursday, is specifically for approving millage rate that will raise money to support the 2020 budget that is yet to be before them. So that one is coming. And the last one, I think, is not a question, but that was just a comment of us being fiscal responsible.
Mr. Dillon, you want to add something? So Mr. Lesser's inquiry.
Those numbers that are included, those numbers could very well and will very well change. And so I think she highlighted some areas that have been allocated in the treasurer's initial offering to the public, but the detailed budget and our proposals will not come forward to the body until tomorrow, and at that time the general public will be able to kind of look through and see those details as well as the elected body would. So I know that the questions were kind of directed to you guys almost as if those adjustments and enhancements came from you, but instead it is the general offering from the treasurer, for which we will actually refine even more through the city manager's office, and then the council chooses to adopt and adjust accordingly. And so I just wanted to make sure to provide that type of clarity on the process for the edification of the public.
Thank you. Seeing everybody, I'll let that motion to adjourn. Second. Properly moved to second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor? Have a great evening.
Thank you.
Thank you all for coming out with your questions. Yeah,
I just think like this area is premature.
yeah.